All right, you're back on Metal Euphoria with your hostess, Metal Maiden Vicky, only on SonicAsylumRadio.com, the best underground music on the planet, period. All right, so we are getting ready to go live here with Prime Evil. We have here a few members of the band. We're still waiting for Andy Icorn, the singer, to join us a little bit later. But we do have Mike Yusufer here on guitar, and we have Rob Broderick on bass. And we also have friend Ray hanging out with us today. So let's say what's up to the listeners.
How's it going, dudes and dudettes?
What's up, man?
All right. Hopefully, let me know how the sound is out there, guys. Let me know if you can hear everybody all right. All right. So I'm so excited to have Prime Evil live with me today. They are coming out with a new album soon. Being released on Inferno Records called Blood Curse Resurrection. And we're looking forward to that coming out on, what's the exact date?
June 20th. It'll be out in 2 weeks today.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so I wanted to talk first a little bit about the band origin and the year that you guys became known to the metal world. Because, you know, Prime Evil really is a legendary New York brutal death thrash speed metal powerhouse, and you guys have been around for a long time, and we're so glad that you are rejuvenated and that you are back out there, and you're going to be releasing this new CD. You're going to be doing shows. It's going to kick ass. All right, so Mike, if you want to talk to me a little bit about the band origin and let us know when Prime Evil first came out.
Sure. Prime Evil pretty much came out of the ashes of a band that Andy and I were in together in '85. A band that I actually started in 1984. It was a three-piece. We were doing Sabbath and Maiden covers. And I started getting into heavier stuff like Venom and Celtic Frost, Urban Slayer. At that point, we realized we needed a different type of singer. And a good friend of mine, Chris Icorn, actually told me his brother Andy sings. And I thought that was pretty cool because I remember the first time I ever heard Slayer's Show No Mercy was actually Andy was playing. So I thought that was pretty awesome. We definitely had a lot in common musically. And he came to an audition and blew us away. It was pretty amazing. Didn't have a microphone, didn't have a PA, and he was just as loud as he needed to be. So we thought it was pretty cool. At that point, we really we added a second guitarist as well, and really cranked up the heat. We did a live show in November, December of '85, which was the last show we did before actually becoming Prime Evil. The bass player and drummer at the time weren't happy in the direction we were going, so we found somebody who was, and that's when Andy came up with the name Prime Evil. We had gone through a barrage of names before that. We could never agree on anything that was good enough. So really officially, we count January of 1986 as the birth of Prime Evil, out of the ashes of this other band. And we demoed. We actually played out a lot live first. Went through a couple more band member changes. Went back to a four-piece. Then we wound up getting Mary and Tad in the band, and bringing Gary back in the band again. Recorded our first demo in '87. Right after that, the drummer Tad left to join the band Toxic, and we picked up another drummer from Hudson Valley, Todd, who was in a punk band at the time. And we recorded the Manifestation demo in 1988, played a bunch of shows afterwards, during that time. And 1990 recorded a third demo, which we specifically just shopped some labels. And from that, we wound up getting putting out a 7-inch on Rage Records from New York, Ed Farshty, his label, him and Joe Pupo. They were both working for Roadrunner at the time. And again, drummer in the band, this guy Matt Mayfield, who I jammed with a bunch of times, knew very well. So we kind of went out kind of the same way we came in, as a four-piece. And after putting out the 7-inch, I think we only stuck around for about another 6 months, where things were just like musically starting to kind of break apart. I think at that point, and we were better off just ending it the way it was, where it was. We all went our ways. Andy jammed in a couple bands. Here with Ben, I think was the name of one, and Sons of Celluloid, which he played with Tad, drummer from our first demo. Andy went and played for Incantation for a little while, and I played with Demolition Hammer for about a year and a half. After that, I did their Epidemic of Violence tour in '92, about a month after Primeval broke up. That was a great experience.
Wow, I just have to interject, Mike. I didn't know you played with Demolition Hammer for a little while. That's very freaking cool.
Yeah, right up to the time when they released Time Bomb. I even did some live shows before the release of that with Alex Marquez on drums, playing some of the new material. I had a great time playing with them. It was really natural and comfortable for me. Their style was so similar to ours. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome, and Primeval has had such a longevity in the thrash metal world. And, I'm sure all the fans, longtime fans and new fans that you guys are going to have with this new release of Blood Curse Resurrection, it really says a lot when a band has really good longevity in this business and people are still excited and it's still fresh. And even your old catalog, like you were mentioning, the demo album, the Manifestation, Terminal Dementia, that it's still fresh and valid today, and it's still out there. It kicks ass. It's brutal. It's crushing. It's just really, really good stuff. And I'm sure we're all looking forward to hearing the entire new album. And you guys have played so many venues as well over the years. I first met you. Well, I met Andy in 1986 at SUNY New Paltz, and he ended up being one of the Palfanu brothers. So, shout out to Palfanu. And I met you shortly afterwards, back when you had the original lineup for Primeval. And I remember seeing you guys for the very first time. Oh, man, where the hell were we? We were in some room in New Paltz. Was it a little auditorium or something? But I remember you guys just kicked ass that night.
Yeah, the Student Union building.
Yeah, right. It was the sub. Yeah. Do you remember that?
I do, yes. Murphy's Law, I think. Bad Brains play that show too? I can't remember, man.
Oh, man. You know what? They probably did.
Yeah, it was a crazy show. We were like the only metal band, I think, on the bill that night.
Yeah, good times, man. So you guys go way back. I mean, talk to us about some of the venues that you guys have played over the years.
Wow. We played some great venues, classic ones, CBG, the original CBGBs. Obviously, probably one of the most iconic. We played Lemore's while it was open.
And I know legendary Streets in New Rochelle.
Yeah, definitely legendary. There were so many great shows there. That was an awesome place. We played there many times with many great bands, including like Demolition Hammer, Immolation.
I never had a chance to go to Streets. Back when I was in high school, New Rochelle just seemed so far away from us. I used to go to the Gemini up here in Yorktown Heights. I don't know if you guys ever played the Gemini, though.
No, we never did.
No, okay, that's what I thought. And Rob, you recently, when did you join the band?
I want to say it was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now, I want to say. It was...
February, more than 2 years, February of 2013.
Wow, awesome.
That's cool.
It flies.
Time flies, man.
Oh, it definitely does. And you're the bass player for the band?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been playing bass for?
Oof. About 12 years now, I want to say.
12 years, awesome. And you were telling me before the show today that you have some great news, and I'd like you to share that with the listeners.
Actually, I still haven't gotten the final okay on the release for it, but I think I could say at the moment I just signed as an endorsed artist to a particular bass and string company. If you can figure that one out, I'll say you're a pretty slinky thinker. Yeah, it should be announcing that in the next couple of days. I'm very excited for that. I'm very proud of that. Something I was shooting for.
Yeah, we all are definitely proud of you, and we will be posting that announcement as soon as it's official.
Glorious.
Excellent, excellent. And I will be promoting that as well, once you can see some more stuff about it and everything. So that's cool. Exciting things are happening for you guys. I know right in the beginning of the interview, you were talking about a lot of the bands that kind of got Primeval its start. And I just want to talk for a second about just the origin of the name Primeval. It's actually taken from the word primeval, which is basically, it means an ancient, just means ancient. And it's just, right? And and basically, Andy, changed the word around, meaning just the ultimate evil, which is basically mankind, as we all know. It's just a great name for your band, and it just represents the bulk of your catalog and what you guys talk about. Maybe you can talk to the listeners a little bit about what your songs generally revolve around, what you want to get across, the meanings behind some things, just, basically all the death and destruction and all the craziness that goes on in humanity.
Sure. Well, that's basically what we are. We're just a reflection of what we see and live. Andy and I do all the lyric writing. Andy, the majority of it. I usually just write lyrics when I'm in a real dark space and need to get some stuff out. My main focus is mostly on music, but Andy's a great lyricist, and really our songs range from anything. Going back from 1987's Living in Fear, about fear of a nuclear attack. In the mid-'80s, that was a huge thing. With the Cold War and Russia and everything, so everybody was always looking over their shoulder waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
We've written songs like More Venomous Moleculi, which was about the Black Plague, so a little bit of history involved in there.
And I was recently reading something about the Black Plague, and it had something to do with that they had banned cats. And because of the band, of cats being banned, that the rats just kind of overtook everything and just spread disease like wildfire. And so, you got to keep your cats around. I have my metal kitties right here with me today, Bonham and Amber. They're like my co-hosts. You got to keep them around, or else you're going to get shit like the Black Plague. And you don't want that. But you guys really just, you get to the heart of the matter. You speak the truth. You just. The world is not always pretty. The world is not always, sunshine and rainbows. And, that's the sad reality that we all have to deal with on a daily basis. There's a lot of evilness running around this planet. And you guys, you talk about that, and, you're very passionate about it.
Yeah, we all live different lives. It's just, our lives happen to be mostly on the dark side of things, and like I said, we're just a mirror. We're a reflection of what we've gone through. Not everybody has such a gloomy outlook, and I don't know that it's gloomy. To me, it's more realistic. There's definitely good things out there. We're aware of that, but we're not the ones that are going to point that out. We're going to point out the things that are messed up about this world, things that should be done about it, like global degradation, which was about man's destruction of the earth, and that was back in 1990, and it's still going on today. You know, and we don't mean to try and be a social band, and we're not trying to be a social band. It's just some of the things we discuss. I mean, we discuss all kinds of stuff. You know, possession, suicide, mental instability, artificial intelligence. You know, we like to bash religion whenever we can. So, yeah, there's just a plethora of real things brought upon by man, which are truly evil.
That's excellent, you know, and that's it's something that people really need to hear, and that's why we are excited for your new CD coming out, Blood Curse Resurrection, and you guys are having a big CD release party at Duff's in Brooklyn. And tell everybody about what date that is and what's going on there.
Yeah, well, we're going to celebrate the release of our first official studio recorded debut album on Inferno Records, and we want everybody to come out and hang out with us and have a great time and party and celebrate with us. We have a free buffet out, I think, till like 8 o'clock. I know doors open at 6. I'm not sure what time people are going to start rolling in, but I think we've got a buffet out till like 8 or 9. There's no cover charge. You know, we're going to have some merchandise and some things we're going to give out for free to everybody that shows up, and just hang out and have a blast.
Excellent.
That's really what it's about.
It does. It sounds like a great time. You know, I'm really going to try to get out there and make it. We'll try to bring some friends and pile for new people with us, and you know, it's going to kick ass. So definitely you guys head out to Brooklyn for Primeval's CD release party. It's going to be a good time. All right, right now I just want to take a quick break. We're going to play some songs, Primeval right now, and I'm going to get you back with Barbaric Rites, and that's coming off of their Evolution EP. All right, so sit back. Well, no, don't sit back. Stand up, spin around, thrash, mosh, do whatever the hell you're going to do, and listen to Primeval Barbaric Rites. All right, you're back live on Metal Euphoria, and this is your Metal Maiden Vicky. And we are live with Primeval right now in studio. I have Rob here, Rob Broderick, who plays bass for Primeval. And we have Friend Ray hanging out. And what's up again, guys? We have Mike calling in on the phone, Mike Yusufer, who is the guitar player. And we're hoping to get Andy calling in live soon. He had some things come up today and wasn't able to be here with me, but we're hoping to get him on the phone soon. So welcome back, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us, Becky. Really appreciate it.
Sure, not a problem.
Thanks for having us.
So Rob, so I just want to talk about what we just played. We listened to Primeval Barbaric Rites, and that comes off of the Evolution EP. And then you heard Plague of Humanity, which is a promo off of their new Blood Curse Resurrection album. Song just kills, man. It just kicks ass. And then the last song you heard was Kill For Me, and that comes off of their original demo album. So good stuff, man. You know, the listeners are really digging it. There's a lot of people hanging out in the chat room today. You know, they're digging Primeval, so it's good. You know, I think you have some longtime fans. You're gonna have new fans. You know, that's what it's all about. Keep the music going, keep it out there, and make the people happy. So, Rob, we were talking about during the break that you joined recently within the past few years, and just wanted to talk to you a little bit about. You were saying how glad you are to be a part of Primeval, and tell the listeners about that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's to be in a band that there's a lot of killer bands, local bands, up and coming bands in the New York City scene. And for them to cite Primeval as an influence, and then to play for the influences, one of the influences of a lot of my friends is it's absolutely awesome. It's I definitely approach it with a lot of respect. for everything that they've done for me, and certainly, I think Mary is a great bass player. But I'm definitely happy to be here now, hopefully till the end, and just do the best I can with it, because it's heavy then, it's fucking heavy now.
Excellent. Yeah, Mary definitely is a fantastic bass player, that's for sure. So props to Mary. Don't know if she's out there listening today or not, but yeah, so it's been a good, smooth transition, and I'm sure everybody's psyched that you're with the band, and you're gonna, with this new album, you guys, you got some upcoming shows you want to talk about, or what's gonna happen once the CD's out and about and released to the masses.
Well, actually, we don't have anything booked right now. Problem is, I'm still actually recovering from spinal fusion, and I don't have clearance yet to play live, so I kind of puts a damper on things. I don't get checked again until September, so like I said, I don't have medical clearance for that yet. Until I get it, we'll actually have to hold off on some live shows, unfortunately, but once I do, trust me, we'll be out there everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, so we definitely wish you well with that, because we want to get you out there playing, and you got to be healthy, man, to get out there and thrash the way you guys do. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's the adrenaline that must go through you guys, your veins, when you're out there playing a show and playing this music. It just must be such a rush and such an exhilaration just to do it, man,
Yeah, it totally is adrenaline rush. That's exactly what it is. It's a way to release all that anger and energy, and kind of feeds off of it as you're doing it as well, the music. So yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do in life. So yeah, I can't wait to get back out there again.
Excellent. And I'm sure everybody out there is patiently awaiting too. So before that, definitely go to the CD release party. And what's the date again on that, guys?
2 weeks from today, June 20th.
June 20th. Yeah, definitely head out to Brooklyn for the CD release party. Now, you were talking about in the beginning of the interview, Mike, that you guys had a lot of influences. So talk a little bit more about that. Like, what bands really got you into wanting to form Primeval and do what you guys do?
Sure. Like I said, when we started off, Sabbath and Maiden were probably my biggest influences in the early 80s. And as a kid, first time I ever heard the Paranoid album by Sabbath, it just blew me away, and I knew that's the sound I wanted to achieve. It was the heaviest thing I'd heard at the time. I think it was probably about 10 at the time. So I knew that was the path I was going to take. And as I listened to music and music progressed, I progressed with it. The heavier it got, the more I liked it. So again, going back to the first Venom album, Welcome to Hell, more Motorhead at that time, starting to get into Hellhammer and Celtic Frost, and then of course Slayer when they came out were another big influence, because to me they were almost on the same level. They were like the Judas Priest band, making it faster. We were more the Maiden, making it our own. So, but then again, music keeps progressing, and we got other influences. Dark Angel, I would have to say, is probably my biggest writing influence that I have. They're definitely my favorite speed thrash band of all time, and one of my biggest influences as far as writing goes. The band Atheist is another band that I'm
excellent.
very heavily influenced by.
Black Sabbath was the first really for me too. I remember hearing them on Don Kirshner's rock concert. You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and Black Sabbath came on, and I was like, who the hell are these guys? I mean, to me, I'm one of those components that Tony Iommi pretty much invented heavy metal. When he had that fateful accident many years ago in Birmingham, England, in the factory, and lost a couple of the tips off of his finger, it just created this whole new sound.
That was actually, Sabbath was the moment for me too. I think that's just the way it is for 99.9% of us, but it was the first time I had heard the song Black Sabbath. It was I just blew my mind how much of a mood you could set with music. That's when how much you could convey with it, and that was it. Hearing I would definitely say that hearing the song Black Sabbath, that changed my damn life.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think you're right too. Most of us, it was either Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Motorhead, Iron Maiden. Even going a little bit further back with bands like Budgie, and it's just an amazing sound. And what Tony Iommi did, we're just all thankful for it. What more can I say? Tony Iommi rules, and
no doubt.
No doubt. So
those are mostly my songwriting stuff. Although I do, as a guitarist, I listen to a lot of different things. Some of my favorite guitarists, when it comes to leads and playing different things, is Al Di Meola, jazz guitarist.
Nice.
Randy Rhoads is probably my biggest influence when it comes to lead guitar. When I was young, I was into real early Eddie Van Halen, so those guys started me off. And then I heard Jimmy Durkin and the Dark Angel and Jesse Pedato from Napalm Death and Terrorizer. That really that influenced me even more. With the stuff I'm writing. So my influences always, they don't change, but I just kind of get more influenced by different things I hear all the time. And it makes me want to be that much more different, better, and original.
Excellent. Now, you were talking before about the songwriting. Now, it's a kind of a collaborative effort between you guys, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, songwriting's changed throughout the years. It was mainly, when we first started, I wrote everything, including 50% of the lyrics, and Andy wrote 50% of the lyrics back then. I would usually just get with the drummer and get the song, get the drums to the songs. A lot of times I had drum parts written already. A lot of times the drummers brought some great stuff. When we had split apart in '92, I started doing a lot of recording on my own and demoing everything with drums, bass, guitar. So when we got back together the first time in 2010, I kind of had this plethora of music where I just passed it out. So here, everything's on there: drum parts, bass parts, both guitar parts. But when we got Billy in the band, that changed, and definitely Rob. You talk about Plague of Humanity. That's the first song that we actually sat down and wrote together. First, Billy and I had started it with a couple riffs. Andy started joining in. As a matter of fact, Andy even wrote a lot of music to the song Evolution. That was his debut into the music part of it. And this whole album was really written by the four of us, and composed, arranged, put together. These songs would not be the way they are if it wasn't for all four of us putting into it. And whether we wrote riffs or changed the timing or added or changed, everybody had a part in the writing process, the creative process, and the final output of the song. And to me, these are the 10 best songs we've ever written. And it's because of that, because of the input of the entire band. For the first time, we actually wrote cohesively. As a band, we could sit in a room together, write songs, and get them banged out, and that was something we could never do before. So I'm really excited about that part of it.
That's awesome. I love when a band is collaborative in that manner, because so many bands, they'll have, let's say, the guitar player, and I do the writing. That's all. Nobody else can do anything. And I love when a band comes together, because isn't that kind of like the underlying meaning of the word band? It's a group of people that are out there to put out a product together. So that's really cool. The Primeval is like that, and I'm sure the fans are as well, because what comes out of all of that collaboration is just kick-ass, thrashing, grinding, brutal metal, and we love it. It's just fantastic.
I think it was a lot easier with four of us. I think sitting down together, and I think the fact that all four of us pretty much know what Primeval's about and what our intents are, and I think I was the only one that came to the table with anything that got tossed out. It didn't sound like Primeval, so there you go. We just have four like-minded individuals, especially when it comes to songwriting and riffs and what we're about and our identity. And I think we identify as one.
That's excellent.
No doubt.
I wanted to talk too about Blood Curse Resurrection. If you guys go to primeval.net or check them out on Facebook, they have a picture of the cover of the album, and it's just a sick album cover. Who designed that album cover?
That was Andy's design.
Was it?
Something he's been coming up with for a long time. Like right after we did Evolution, he told me about this idea he had for the next album cover, and he found an artist that could render it exactly as he wanted. I remember we went through a couple versions of it, but it wound up being like exactly how I remember him describing it to me is exactly how it looks. So that's kind of a first in that respect for us. If we can't do it ourselves, sometimes it's difficult for others to be able to get our ideas across physically. But this time it's to a T. So he had a great vision for it, and it came out awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's gonna be my next back tattoo.
I just like how many dead babies it had. Impaled specifically. I thought that was brutal and awesome,
Yeah, it's a totally sick album cover. I mean, you guys have to check it out. Like I said, go to primeval.net, go to a Facebook page for Primeval. I just put the link up in the chat room. And if you're out there listening and you're not in the chat room, get in there. Hang out with us and see what's going on. There's a lot of people hanging out in there. So definitely. Now, thinking about the Evolution EP too, that album cover was pretty sick as well. Did Andy design that also, or how did that come about?
Actually, that was my idea.
It was, okay.
We're going to bounce on and off. I think Rob has to get the next album cover, so...
You hear that, Rob? You got
Yeah, I was just thinking about that now.
It was kind of like a concept I had when we had gotten back together. There were some on the Unearthed CD, which is a compilation CD we have of demos and some songs from rehearsal that were never really recorded in a studio. A couple of those I had rewritten. They became Crucifixion Aftermath and Barbaric Rites on the EP. Evolution was a brand new song written by Andy and I together, and the concept was really the evolution of the band Primeval, like how we went from in 1992 to today. And the album cover was actually supposed to be a mix of the demons we had on our covers from the first cover of the demo and unearthed into a newer demon. So that was pretty close. It was as close as we could get to that. And then obviously for the new album, Andy's idea was that it was time that the demon was no longer just a skull, but he had a body to go with it, and I agree. And I think we have our full body mascot.
Excellent. Does he have a name?
Yeah, he does. He goes by many names.
Okay. So you were saying, Rob, that you already have some thoughts spinning around in your head?
Yeah, and I mean, it's, he said about getting, the demon skull, the screaming demon, tattooed on me. It was like, I was gonna get like, the classic era one, just so if you're looking at it and you know the band, you know what it is. But I actually kind of like the idea of getting the more modern one, so it's like, you dudes can have the old school one and I'll have like the newer one, it's kind of a cool statement.
That's definitely cool. Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to talk about, and we're still hopefully waiting for Andy to call in here. We're waiting to hear from him. He's got some things going on today, like I mentioned before. So unfortunately, he is not live with us at the moment. We are hoping that he will be very shortly. So Andy, if you're out there, get your ass on the phone, would you? Anyway, I wanted to get back to some music. All right, we're going to go back with, let's see what I got here. Homicidal Assault. And this is a promo, another promo coming off of your upcoming album, Blood Curse Resurrection. So we're going to hit the listeners with some Homicidal Assault.
Awesome.
All right, welcome back, guys. This is Metal Euphoria, and I'm your hostess, Metal Maiden Vicky, only on SonicAsylumRadio.com. The best underground music on the planet, period. All right, so we are live here with Primeval. We have today Mike Yusufer on guitar, Rob Broderick's hanging out with me live here on bass, and we just got Evil Andy Eichhorn, the lead singer, on the phone. So say what's up to everybody, Andy.
What's up? Hail, horns. Great, Vicky, it's so great to be on.
Me too. Thanks so much for for being on my show. And I'm glad that I was able to get you guys on prior to your CD release party on June 20th out in Duff's Brooklyn Bar. That's going to be a blast.
We're real excited. I mean, it's been a couple decades, and really this is our first full-length album, and I couldn't be happier with the achievement. I know Mike and I talk privately, and we're both, we're not patting ourselves on the back, but this is something we've always wanted to do. We've done demos, we've done EPs. This is our first full-length album, and it really is such a legitimate continuation of the Primeval sound. I think it's gotten a little bit more mature, and it just feels right. I mean, really, the last 3 or 4 years with once we got back with all the original members for a few shows, that was really nice. And of course, life gets in the way; they couldn't really continue. And to get a drummer like Billy Waswaller, an incredible performing bass player like Rob Broderick, was just, I mean, it was really, we had to look and still audition some guys, but once that really came together, that's when things really started to gel the second time around, so to speak. And I thought we were cut short back in the early '90s, and we had to disband. So it wasn't forced, really just came naturally. And then all of a sudden, we started really writing quite a lot of songs that, and it was a lot of fun. It really was a very good creative process. And then we said, listen, we're definitely going for a full-length album, and it's quite a triumph in my own mind that release has happened this June.
Oh, definitely. That's so awesome that you guys have rejuvenated and that you're back. I know a lot of people are going to be really excited about this. And, I remember, I think it was me, maybe, or somebody else was telling me a few years back at the Metal Masters tour out in PNC, somebody was wearing a Primeval patch on their jacket, on their jeans jacket. And we went up to the dude and, it was like Primeval. And he was like, yeah, hell yeah, So it's really cool that there's people out there. Ray's over here showing me the Primeval patch on his jacket right now. So that's awesome. Yeah, that kicks ass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So Andy, we're really glad that you were able to finally join us. We know some things were going on today, so hell yeah that you are finally here. I met you, back in 1986, many, many moons ago. And, just something kind of funny I want to share with the listeners. Hope you don't get too mad at me, Andy, but back before I actually met you, when you were friendly with Pete Pardo and everything, we used to see you, and I used to refer to you as that Bruce Dickinson guy. And do you remember that? It was so funny. So funny.
Yeah,
and then we got to know you, and of course...
back then it was either, especially the cool people and the people who listen to really good metal, would say, oh yeah, you kind of look like Bruce Dickinson, and then all the other clueless people are like, you know, you just get the Axl Rose stuff, but...
I never thought Axl Rose. No, never thought Axl Rose.
People where we really kind of gravitated together, so it was really kind of faithful kind of meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and you are, of course, a Pile for New brother, and that's how I really got to know you. So, you know, hails and... Pile for New! Yeah, that's right, Pile for New. So, you know, so very exciting, man. So earlier in the interview, you know, we were talking about the past catalog and everything, and how really the writing and the music, the lyrics, is really a collaboration of all you guys, which is really great to see that in a band these days. But what I want to know, now we were talking too about the album cover, and that was your design and everything. So if you want to just elaborate on, you know, what we've already talked about, that would be cool.
Just real quick. It can be, you know, again, interpreted in a bunch of different ways, but I really crammed a lot of ideas and visions in there, and maybe they're subtle and not so subtle. But really, the demon face was created very early on by a friend of ours in the band, and then our ex-drummer kept modeling. So again, that was kind of always a theme with just the demon face. What we wanted to do was give the demon a body, which really meant more a progression of the evil and the evil of mankind, really is what it's about. So that is a representation of the evils of mankind basically standing amidst the carnage that he has created over the centuries and currently. I mean, it's just standing in those really just skulls, the blood, there's bodies on stage in the background, and if you notice, it's right in from the steps of a Gothic church. So I don't mean a Gothic specifically, but a Gothic style church. And so again, back to the meaning that maybe religion and religious strife early on, as we know, and kind of played out subject within the metal community. But we really have to take accountability really for that and how that's affected us through the mankind and the slaughters and everything that has come to fruition due to that and a lot of other kind of factions and tactics over the years. So, yeah, it's pretty heavy.
All right, yeah, it definitely is a sick album cover, as they all are, and the Evolution EP and, you know, everything. But what I want to know is, do you guys have any pre-show rituals that you like to do before you go out on stage? Is there anything, you know, what gets you guys, what gets Primeval pumped and to go out on stage and play?
Mine's really easy. I just tune my guitars, man. That's my ritual.
And they shake their
I
heads
think
at
Andy has the
me.
biggest ritual of us all. Yeah, I try to warm up.
Do a little bit.
Well, again, I have, it's difficult. It's not easy because being a lead singer and kind of projecting that much force. And whenever I'm on stage, I just cannot just stand there and just sing. My body takes over. My adrenaline just kind of takes over that thing, and I just thrash around. It just happens. But early on, I know that I have to be prepared for that. So I have to hydrate, take a lot of liquids, and then start warming up my voice. I have a kind of a voice ritual I learned from a vocal coach that I went to years and years ago when I was still in college in 1988. Because back then it was new to me, and I was losing my voice, smoking cigarettes, which he had me stop. And so anyway, to this day, I use those vocal exercises really, really well to warm up the vocal cords. So, and then I have to really just kind of stay away from people now before I go on, just kind of mellow out. And once I kind of hit the stage, it crosses like a threshold. So I think about it really up until that point, and then I don't think about it. It just happens.
Right. I can imagine, that your vocals are so guttural. They're so crushing. I can only imagine what it's like to do the warm-ups, and that's awesome that you had such a great vocal coach back then that you still use, their learnings today. That's great.
That's just it. I mean, we're older, a little older and wiser.
Yeah.
And I think that's really helped us kind of complete this project and see it through to its current state. Because even we had a lot of certain legal difficulties and a lot of different things, when we reformed the band. But I think the maturity level and a lot of experience all through the years in the music business kind of helped us navigate it and really work with the record label Inferno Records, which we're eternally grateful for, and kind of really hammer out these deals. We're just an underground band, and I'm fine with that. But this is a really big deal for us.
Oh, definitely. It's got to be exciting. I remember when you first brought to me a few years ago, when you told me that the band was getting back together and you were going to reform and everything, just the excitement in your voice, and, you could just see it in your face that it's just something that you've always loved to do. And I'm so happy that you guys are doing this again. We really are. And so are our listeners. There's a lot of people in the chat room that are really excited for this as well. So it's all good, man, So
I'd like to jump in on that too.
Sure.
It's and it's exactly that. When I see you and Mike, just talk about it, it's just so clear that you just, you are Primeval, and Primeval is you. And the thing that made me jump in so completely with that is, I realized, shit, I am too. And it's just, even, when you're talking about the pre-show ritual, it's like, you go to that place to mellow out, and I kind of do the same thing, except I go, to a different place. It's much, I get more angry and I get darker, but it's to get to the point where you are everything that Primeval is.
That's awesome.
Nice comment, bro. Very cool.
Very, very cool. Definitely. So,
Another thing, let me just throw in. I'm not trying to kiss ass here or anything, but really, truthfully, if anyone's seen really some of our performance for Rob, right away, Rob is 110% on stage, and it's not phony. He's feeling it. He's into it. He knows, listen, metal is our lives. A lot of people say that. When I was younger and I heard metal music, again, I think we all have the same experience. Never been the same since. Something about it, there'll always be something about it, and it never goes away.
That's so true. That is so true. What I want to ask you guys now, all the shows that you've done over the years, all the venues that you've played at, what is one of the craziest or sickest things that have ever happened at one of your shows? Whether it be...
I have a good story for this. I'm sure you guys will top it, but the very first show I played with Primeval, it's like 30 seconds into the first song, if that, and I was just already picking so hard that I managed to actually scrape off or cut off, it was already bleeding. I got noticeable chunk of the side of my thumb, and my first instinct was to bite it off and spit it, and I was just like, dude, if that doesn't tell you what's about to come, I don't know what does.
That's so metal.
Goddamn right.
Gotta love it, man.
I've got one real quick. Remember, actually, let's mention the club. It was Streets in New Rochelle. We were playing there maybe for the third or fourth time, and a really big crowd. And unfortunately, I remember that day, there must have been a big group of about 20, 25 skinheads at the time. This was 1986, 87. So a lot of those the Doc Martin wearing guys were still kind of around. There was still some of that adversity, unfortunately. The crossover really hadn't fully happened, especially in certain areas. So anyway, these guys were looking for trouble anyway. We busted into our set. and got into a couple of mosh parts. People moshing and headbanging, and the skinheads all of a sudden basically started, doing that stupid moshing, and basically crushing people right into the stage, making it really unfun for the headbangers, coming up throwing elbows, knocking people down. All of a sudden there was a fight. We had to stop the music. I started announcing something like trying to cool it down on the stage, and someone said, "Yo, I'll stab you." Yeah, I mean, really, it was really starting to get out of control. It starts this big brawl, and it was real scary. It was a little scary for a while. So yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, that sounds it, man. I probably would have been somewhere off in the sidelines there.
Yeah, I've got that on tape. Actually, I have a VHS for that. I have to transfer it to digital one day. The whole incident, you hear it's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. Andy, can you think of anything crazy or sick that's happened at one of your shows? Whether, did any fans ever run up on stage or do anything crazy like that?
Oh, we always had, this is PG, right? To the front of, I was on the front of the stage one time, and, I'm not going to tell that story.
Well, no, you can. Go for it.
All the time.
We want to hear it, Mike.
I was right in front of the stage, and right in the middle, saw a young female fan started rubbing my crotch. Just reaching up, and
Only you.
I'm little, thrashing away. All of a sudden, I'm getting a hand job, basically.
That's crazy.
What about you? Got any
These things happen.
Right. Like Rob just said, things happen at metal shows, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Can't
Thing
won't
I
stop
remember
it.
seeing was when we played up in Buffalo at the Sky Room, and we played with Death and Carcass. I think it was like around 2,000 people there. It was the biggest show we had played, and we broke into Venomous Moleculi, and I looked out, and the entire crowd was just in this huge circle. It was like the biggest one I'd seen personally in my life. So to me, that was kind of like one of the biggest standouts live. As far as mutilation and sex goes, that's just a natural occurrence at our shows. Apparently, right? And one more to expound on Buffalo. The first time we played up there, we didn't know we had been invited by Cannibal Corpse, but we played with Deicide, and we were really surprised to be known as much as we did. We went on stage, all the kids are looking me in the eye, they're singing every word to the song, and then they're banging their head on the stage. I'm telling you, they're banging their head on the stage. Hardcore guys up in Buffalo.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Buffalo scene rules, man.
Yeah, I've never been up that far upstate before. So, I can only imagine that. That's cool, though,
One of you guys tell the story about the guy telling you about what Kill For Me meant to him. It's not the same if I tell it.
That's always another one. When we talking to the guy on the phone, and one time, no, I'm sorry, that was the first song. And he goes, "Oh, you were talking about the meaning for Kill For Me." He goes, "Yo, man, I think he was dead serious. It was really scary. He goes, I'll kill for you guys anytime." And I'm like, "No, dude, it's not really like that. It's, we started talking about the meaning. It could be how kings and monarchs over the years have really commanded armies of the people to, either kill for them to gain wealth, or gain power or property, et cetera, like that. Some other people have also interpreted it as it might be Hitler, the way Hitler kind of commanded and brainwashed the masses over there, et cetera. So there's a lot of different interpretations over the years I've heard for the song for Kill For Me.
Well, that's pretty freaky, though, to have this guy come up and say that. All right, I'd be a little frightened. Even though you guys are primeval and probably not much frightens you or scares you guys, but that's a little freaky, man.
I thought it was a little scary. Andy just told the guy, "Look, we handle all our own homicides in house." So.
Oh man, that is so funny. So let's see. We've talked about a lot of stuff today. The band origin and when you guys first started, the venues you played. how can the listeners and the fans get to experience Primeval? Where can we go to check you guys out online?
Well, our main website is the main place to go, which is primeevil.net. All lowercase. Make sure there's two E's in the middle. And from there, you could go to our Facebook links, YouTube channel, Twitter account. We're on SoundCloud, Instagram. We're on just about every basic social media there is. You can find our Evolution EP on iTunes and Amazon and CD Baby as well. Also on Inferno-Records.com, which is where you can also pre-order our new album from Inferno's before it's out in 2 weeks. You get it at a discount price if you do the pre-order. So anybody interested, go to Inferno-Records.com to the pre-order. There is also links on the website and Facebook for that as well. So I've been busy keeping that up to date on everything.
All right, excellent. And I just wanted to bring up too that the drummer Billy Weiler was not able to be here today. I guess he's on vacation right now.
Yeah, he's lucky guys in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Basking in the sun. So yeah.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
Enjoying the sun, and we're enjoying the metal.
Yeah, it definitely would have been cool if he would have been able to call in today, but that's the beauty and the chaos of live radio. You never know what's going to happen or how things are going to pan out, but I'm so psyched that you guys are here, man. And Mike, you have another project that you do. Earlier in the show, I played a song from Brain Dead, which is a band that hails out of the Bronx. And I've been friends with Ed Corpse for a long time. Great guy. And he sent me their cover of Ozzy's Waiting for Darkness. And just if you want to talk a little bit about this project that you do, I understand that you mastered that song for them.
Yeah, the Waiting for Darkness EP, that was actually my first project that I did. And it trained me to master the Primeval album for 4 or 5 months. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. It was a learning process for me and for both of us, I think, and we worked real well together. Helped me out in the end, and he also helped me get through some stuff with the mastering as well as a good friend of the band, Tom Argo, did, because I actually went in and remastered the album before we sent it out, because there were still some things we weren't exactly happy with. But yeah, I kind of blew the plug on Brain Dead on the last interview I did. I don't know if I should say it again, but I will be working with them mastering an upcoming project as well. But yeah, through that, the Primeval, I did a band called Thunder Chief out of North Carolina. They're a doom metal band, and I've been doing my mastering. So yeah, I'm now Masterworks Studio Labs, and just trying to make all music sound great out there.
That's excellent. That it must be exciting for you to go into that part of the music business and experience it and learn it and everything. That's really, really cool, Mike.
It's something I've always wanted to do as far as a career is audio engineering. I did go back to school for it, and something I started building my home studio many years ago, and I've acquired quite a lot of equipment. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually able to mix some analog equipment into the digital mastering to give it some beef and make it sound a little bit different than what most people can do with just a mastering program. So, and I'm learning a lot as I'm going, and I'm having a blast. It's a lot of fun.
All right, good for you, man. All right, so we are going to go back to some music now. We've got some more Primeval coming at you. Right now, we're going to go to something else off of the Blood Curse Resurrection album. Okay, and this is another promo called Blood Curse. All right, so Here comes more Primeval for you.
Crank it up.
Crank it up. All right, guys. Sorry. We are back. And thanks again to your metal maiden who is so burnt sometimes. I swear to God. You know, you gotta deal with me sometimes. And, you know, I'm a product of the 80s. What are you going to do? So, again, we have to... it's just crazy here. And again, like I said before, it's the beauty and chaos of live radio. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but sorry for the dead air there. So, guys, you still with me?
Yeah, we're here.
All right. So, as Witterson would say, all right.
Dead air.
Yeah, dead air, you know, it kind of sucks, but, you know, this is the way it goes sometimes. But, so what I'm going to do is just quickly read back for you the Primeval songs that I played. We had Barbaric Rites, and that came off of the Evolution EP, Plague of Humanity, coming off of their new album, Blood Curse Resurrection, Kill for Me, which came off of their demo album, and then Homicidal Assault, also off of Blood Curse Resurrection, Terminal Dementia, which is off of Terminal Dementia, and then I threw in some Dark Angel, Welcome to the Slaughterhouse, one of the influences for Primeval, and so hope you enjoyed the Dark Angel. Then we had Evolution Decree, also off of the Evolution EP, Blood Curse off of Blood Curse Resurrection, and Reality's Complete, and that's coming off of the Manifestation album. And the last song you heard was Crucifixion Aftermath, and that's off of Evolution as well. So again, head out to Duff's Brooklyn Bar on Saturday, June 20th for the Primeval CD release party for Blood Curse Resurrection. It's going to kick ass. It's going to be a blast. There is no cover charge. There's going to be a free buffet. So head out and support the band. Listen to some great metal. And we hope to see you guys in Brooklyn. So just want to head out of the interview. Is there anything else that you guys want to add, that you want to say to the listeners? Go for it.
I just want to say, Vicky, just thank you so much for the interview. It's actually been an honor, and so we appreciate every single person who supports us. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, we're definitely looking forward to this, and thank you so much again for being part of my first official live interview on Sonic Asylum Radio since joining. So this is really exciting for me, and it's a big deal for me. So thank you so much. You know, definitely looking forward to the release of the CD and checking out more Primeval, which I will be spinning regularly on my show.
I just wanted
Thanks so much, Ricky.
And I just wanted to say that we are just so far from done. You know, if you have waited for this album and you know, to see Primeval live, and it's just we are nowhere near the end. You know, so
here you go. Cheers, horns raised.
Absolutely. We got the metal sign and the horns raised over here. Primeval, woo! All right, we're going to head out, and I'm going to bring you back to some music. This song is by Stride, and the song is called The Waiting. All right, guys, you are back on Metal Euphoria, and I'm your hostess, Metal Maiden Vicky, only on SonicAsylumRadio.com, the best underground music on the planet, period. And I just interviewed one of the best underground bands on the planet, period, Primeval. And I just want to give a huge thanks to you guys. I still have Rob and friend Ray hanging out still here, but we are heading out the show. My time is done. So thank you again for the kick-ass interview. I really appreciate it. And thanks you all for tuning in, listening out there, and hanging out in the chat room today. I really appreciate your support. It's just been a really great time since joining Sonic Asylum Radio, and I'm just so thankful for it. And all the other DJs kick ass as well. You know, definitely stay tuned later for Paul Panic's show, The Metal Storm. That's coming at you at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for that. And again, I will be with you next Saturday. I'm going to head you out with some Overkill. And again, I'll see you guys next Saturday. And remember, live, laugh, love, be safe, and always, always stay metal.